This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. If you are on a quest to move your life forward, you might have realized that there are things that happen in your life that may be holding you back. And we've said this word before, heal or healing. But how do we do that? Part of that is releasing certain things in your life, be it situations, emotions, memories, dare I say people. How do we release so we can move forward? That is what we're going to dig into today. No better person that can do that than the one that joins us today. She's got a great practice that really promotes wellness, healing, and all different modalities to help move your life forward and really transform you. Infinite Healing and Wellness is her practice. She's also the author of Mastering Self. And it's funny how this all comes back to mastering self, what we're talking about even today. Colleen Brindley is on the program. How are you doing today?
Hi, Steve. Wonderful. So great to be here. I love these conversations and perfect conversation of what creates disharmony in our lives, in our bodies, in our communication, and how do we move it? And really, that's how I define healing, is really having this new state of awareness and a process to move things. Emotions are strong. The energy of earth has been of division, separation. It has been of sadness, of anger. And that actually creates great tension, stress in the physical body. And I always have focused on this word healing. And what does that look like? And what are those day-to-day steps? Can someone else heal you? And I've come to the conclusion we may need the assistance of others. But ultimately, it's if you can get into a peaceful state, how do you do that? How do you release? How do you not judge? The main thing I notice is we have a lot of shoulds. It should look like this. It should look like that. It should not look like this. It should not look like that. And those expectations, those assumptions are built in our own minds. And so as we quiet our mind and perhaps have a similar experience or step into those shoes, we start to figure out, it's easy as it should have been like this. And so again, it's a process of getting into that quiet, into that moment, that present moment, not keep going back into the past and blaming, because we can't change it. But we can release it. We can move through it. And that doesn't mean we like it. It doesn't mean I agree with anything. It just means that I'm at a place where I can express it, share it without that level of emotion, of distress, because that distress is what we're feeling. It's what is impacting and creating disharmony in our bodies, in our own relationships, in our communication, but that filters out into the world. So now we want peace and love in the world, but the only way to get it is through you. So how do we do that? Well, first place I start is with our parents. Many of us, your parents gave you birth. Somehow this miracle happened, and I truly look at creation, humans, as a miracle. And, again, you can't feed yourself, you can't walk, you need a diaper change, you don't sleep at night. I mean, you name it. There had to be some type of love because you got that care. Somebody gave you that care, that love. And as we grow up, now our parents or family need to create self-discipline, create independence, helping us grow up. And so I always think of this, I look at soulmates as really kind of creating this bigger picture. Soulmates usually have very opposite perspectives and approaches. So my husband and I fit that bill. And he would say to my one daughter, "Get the marbles out of your mouth." And I thought, that's such a terrible way. What are you saying? And he was saying, speak clearer, project, state what you mean, be confident. And the kids would say, "Oh, he hurt our feelings, Mom." And so I could have went head to head with him about that communication style. And why do you have to say it like that? There's another way to say it. And usually the answer is somewhere in the middle, not always that nice, soft voice, not necessarily a put down or things like that. But do you know, my kids to this day are so grateful because he gave them a little tougher skin. They don't expect people to only say nice things, or the way they say it, there's no expectation or assumption that they should have done it this way. So I think life is about that bigger awareness, that bigger perspective, without expecting people to say and do things that you want them to do, because I do believe Earth is a place of growth. So our parents are the first ones who are raising us, and they create this picture of growth, pushing and pulling. And then we have the choice to create things similarly as we grow up, doing things like our mother, doing things like our father, or not. So we did this great activity on Saturday. We hold classes here, conversations, and I had everybody do a reflection of their mom, the role of their mom, who cleaned, who cooked, how mom spent the free time, how did she interact with friends, just a reflection. Do the same with dad. How did he spend his spare time? What was his role? Where was the role of work, money? And now you and your partner. How did your parents interact? Did they hold hands? Did they hug? Did they kiss? Did they say, "You're beautiful, thank you"? What words, what actions, behaviors, what did you see? And it was so powerful because people were able to process and say, "Oh, I am my mom. I am my dad." Even the things I didn't mentally like, I disliked, but now I have a choice because I know how it felt to make a change, right? You're able to make the change. So with that awareness, we wrote release letters, never give them to anyone. "Dear Mom, thank you for life. Without you, I wouldn't even be here. I didn't like this, Mom. I didn't like this, blah, 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 blah. I wish it was like this, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Thank you for making me stronger, more courageous, giving me clarity on how I desire things to be now. And I apologize for not always accepting you exactly as you are, because I don't know what it was like to be a mom, to struggle, to be in a relationship, to deal with money and even the cycle of negativity on Earth at that time. You didn't know about exercise, maybe. You didn't know about release letters. You didn't know the things I now know. Same thing to Dad. I love you. So what I notice is most people who come here and they're in pain, they're feeling unhealthy, they're unhappy, many times they have disconnections in their family bloodline. They're not speaking to our mom, they're not speaking to their dad, their sibling. There's disconnections in that bloodline. And the first process of healing that is to write these release letters and then to reconnect. Reconnection does not mean I agree with everything that was said and done and how it was. But a spiritual perspective means total connection. You can never be disconnected, or your body will start to communicate all that distress, all of those disconnections. And so
now, are you saying that writing that letter, a beautiful idea, love it. Is that helping you connect or reconnect again? Because I'm seeing this different now, because I thought it was you're releasing things within, which I'm sure you are in writing that letter. You're
You are.
you're making whatever's in your head now real because it's on paper. Don't
Right.
type it, write it, scientifically
Write it.
proven. Very
You got to
important.
write it.
Very important.
Got to write it.
So when you look at it, now it's real. So I thought of it as a release, but I never ever thought of it as a connect or reconnect exercise.
Absolutely. It is.
Boom.
You are clearing those rifts, those breaks in the bloodline. Because what we notice is one generation that has a disconnection, maybe mom and daughter, we'll see it passed down to the daughter and granddaughter. So we're watching these disconnections keep getting passed. So not only are we seeing disconnections and breaking cycles of addiction, obesity, all of these things, but we're seeing we're meant to reconnect. And this is a process to start that.
So that being said, and by the way, I think we should say that you're not sending these letters. This is just for you
Never.
to process.
Never.
Right.
For you.
So
Right.
I initially, Colleen, I'm thinking, okay, write one to mom, write one to dad, regardless of whether they're still with you or not. Maybe some others in your life that may have done you wrong. Okay. But question here is, should you write a letter to everyone important in your life, even your children? And you might have a good relationship with them or whoever that person is. It might be okay. But are you saying that there's probably a little disconnect here, a little there? It could be a great relationship, but there's always going to be a little something here that maybe that's floating out there you might not even be aware of until you write it. So write a letter to everybody that's close to you.
Absolutely. We want to repair relationships, right? And
Wow.
so again, your top relationships, we want to relate and connect to all. And why not start within that family structure? Because once that's healed, then we can grow. Then we can relate and connect to community, to different people at work, to, the larger society. It could be called a love letter, right? I love this, all about you. Thank you for this. So again, sometimes if it's a child, they need that energy of love. And so we can write a letter to assist our child as well. So let's say they're struggling. They're not making decisions. They're not earning money. They're whatever it is. You can say, I'm writing this letter to assist my daughter in being her most confident, loving, beautiful self.
Mm-hmm.
I'm helping her release that self-doubt.
Okay.
The worry, the stress, the money, whatever. So this is energy. This is a form of moving energy. And this is how, instead of
Mind blown.
Now I'm like,
because I've never saw it this way. I saw it more of for you to release. And it could even be, you could have adult children, child, whatever. You love them. I'm proud of you. You did this. There might be a couple little things. I'm going very, very hypothetical here. I wish you would call me more often. I wish you would make more time for me. So the way I'm viewing this is it's you and your love and your challenges with that person, whoever that person is. But I never saw this as you're helping them release things as well in that letter.
Because, right. Well, especially your children are you. And so we always say, if I have an unhappy mom and a child came through their birth canal, how happy can the children be? Right. And so my goal has always been to create love in moms, in women who create. Of course, they can't create without males, but again, this premise of a family can only be as happy as the matriarch. And so we need that person to release. But I love what you said about the sound of calling someone. I can't tell you how many women I work with and they text their children. We each have a unique sound imprint. based on our DNA of our voices. No person's DNA is the same. No person's fingerprints the same. No person's voice is the same. Your child needs your voice. They don't need 20 minutes of complaining, but they need your voice and they need the words, I love you. That makes everything okay. No matter what has occurred, whatever perspective, the past, the thoughts, the shoulds, the wishes, in that moment, I love you makes everything know that my spirit and your spirit know it's okay. Great tool, easy, doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take money. I love you. The vibration of that from a parent's mouth is a celebration.
And should be said with true intention. It's great if you say it. Sometimes you just throw it out there, but really mean it.
Right. And so think about your family connection. Maybe it's a brother, a sister. How about sending them a card, right? Your writing, your hand, your energy. Thank you for being the best brother in the world. Mail it. Oh, what? He's thinking of me? That's wild. What? So again, the power
That would make
oh
my God, that would make such a difference. Number one, because nobody really writes things anymore. It comes out of nowhere. It's not a birthday, holiday or anything like that. And It's just a few words. It doesn't have to be a lot, and just send it off.
Simple.
Oh my God, that's the mind blow here. It is simple, but the impact of it, whoa.
Huge. So releasing emotions, assisting others can be simple, can be free almost, right? Not costing a lot of money to mail that card. But the thoughtfulness, the care, no expectation, nothing in return, just the upliftment of peace, one person at a time. But that's your bloodline. So why would we not do that? Why would we keep the disconnection? We want peace. We want abundance. We want love in the world. How can we not start within our innermost circle? And that's the basis that we function here. And, again, I'll work with, people who have been abused, people who have had, horrific experiences. And we only can say hurt people hurt people. So for people who have been hurt, we now have to have compassion because we know that person didn't love themselves, didn't have an example, a model, enough love in their life because they would have never acted, behaved, functioned in that manner with love. But it's never too late to give love, to spread love, because that's the cure. That's what healing is. It's releasing all of that other stuff and to get into the vibration of love. And that's what this period of time right now in history is about. Don't go back into the past. Don't go into the future. Get into the moment. Get into connection, love, worthiness. Be your highest self.
And dare I say, if others don't honor that to you, think about moving on. I'm just saying. I think it's also a time of where we need to take inventory of what's around us and maybe see that, people you align with may not be the best for you. They may not have your best interest, whatever it may be. Just a thought. Just a thought.
Well, we know birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. I mean, it's in how many lyrics, how many things, and we know the neurotransmitters adjust to who we're around. So vibrationally, that's why we have a lot of movement. People come and go in our lives, in our work, in our experiences based on vibrations. We've all been low spots. We've all been medium. We've been in a process. If we were all at the highest level, I believe we wouldn't be on earth at this time. The purpose of earth is that growth, that evolution of opening and expanding a perspective, whether it's as a parent, as a coworker, as a friend, as a brother, as a sister. I believe that is the purpose, is to try out those shoes, because until you jump in those shoes, you really don't know what it feels like, the stress, the you know, all the emotions involved.
Wow.
And so people will move in and out of your life. But again, it's like a parent. We never give up, right? So again, our kid moves away for a couple of years. It doesn't mean that's it. It's forever. It's over. No, they're our blood. So as people come in and out of your life, just send them love. Doesn't mean I have to sit with them day and night, but maybe they just need love from afar. And there's great power in that. And that's the goal of our spiritual center, is to not be too, to use big language, big words, to make it as simple as possible. What are we about? What are we here to do? What is this family thing? What are these relationships? Why did this happen? Can we find purpose? But to find purpose, we have to open up our view and step out of our shoes to really see that. My daughter's an acupuncturist, and the first point she always puts in is right between your eyes, your third eye. And she'll say, it relaxes you. But really what she's doing is opening your perspective, because that's what heals. That's what the pain is, your body's way of communicating disharmony, disconnection. So when you open your view, you release your emotions, you can see another perspective, you heal. Healing is a process of growth, perspective, new actions.
How interesting that your daughter is a healer as well.
She brought me into this world. I blame her and only her,
And it's, the topic today was release and the different ways to do it. We've centered on the letter. However, and I got a Post-it note right over here. Write a letter to mom, write a letter to dad. You know how many months old this is? Because it's uncomfortable. And they're no longer here. But I've been putting it off. I don't want to do it. I want to do it, but I don't want to do it. But it's time for all of us to do it, for everybody that you care about.
Right. Well, growth is uncomfortable.
Yes.
Healing is uncomfortable.
Yep.
To move to that next step takes courage, magnificence. But when people love you, they push you and support you in movement.
Well, I see this in such a different angle now, where you're not just saying good things and maybe things that bother or have hurt you for whatever person it is, whether it's your parents or whoever, but you're also helping them move forward and heal energetically by writing that letter. And even as simple as, off to the side here, to send a card with just, a couple of words in it. If I opened that, I'd be like, I don't know what to do. We'd like, what? I didn't expect that. Beautiful. This is just a piece of what you do. And it's interesting. We didn't get to all the other ways to release the emotions, the pain, all that stuff in. Maybe we should do a part 2. I don't know. It's up to you. There's so many different
topic.
It's a bigger topic than I thought. And I've talked about this and on the journey and all of that for quite some time now. You bring such new, fresh perspective, and I appreciate that. How do we find you if somebody's trying to process this? They need somebody to walk that journey.
Yeah, and that's what we've created here, is a place for support. InfiniteHealingAndHealth.com, Middletown, New Jersey. But certainly so many things are virtual. I'm going to teach spiritual hypnotism at the end of the month, and that is phenomenal. So there's classes, there's ways to assist in the healing process, and support others you love in so many ways. We have so many modalities, but please connect, check out our calendar, check out our classes. Great stuff here.
Wow. Hypnotherapy, game changer for me. I'm the biggest champion on the planet for that, but I never considered it with the word spiritual before it. We need to talk. Thank you, Colleen. Truly appreciate all the insight today. Love what you do. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thanks, Steve. Have a great day.
You too.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.